And if you're a woman, I know every single woman watching knows this or has gone through this. That relationship, or maybe several relationships that you were in where you were love bombed and it was just so hot and heavy at the beginning. You thought you found the love of your life. Like, you guys just got on. He was so into you. He was obsessed with you to the point where obviously you attach yourself, right? And then suddenly he starts pulling away. But because you were love bombed, because it was so hot and heavy, now you're almost chasing him. Now you're trying to get it back. What you had at the beginning, you're trying to get it back. But what you had at the beginning wasn't real. It was infatuation. It was lust, right? Especially to the man. Whereas to the girl, emotions are involved. What's good, you guys? Welcome back to Yap Therapy. Happy Friday. Whenever you're watching this, happy whatever day it is that you're watching this. Either way, you're going to be happy. If you're not happy, you're going to leave feeling happy because that's just the energy that I'm feeding you. Okay, so take it. Take my good energy. Okay, now give me some good energy. Okay, thank you. Anyway, so I have just a bunch of random shit that we're gonna yap about today, obviously, because, you know, that's just what we do. But first, I want to start off with some Love Island hot takes. And I say hot takes because the internet is a strange place. But one thing I will always remember, and I don't know why I ever forget it, the world hates women. It's a fact. And it's so sad because this hate, it doesn't just stem from men, you know, red pill men. It stems from other women and pick-me women and insecure women, right? I say this because, okay, so on Love Island, this is my take. Listen, there's this girl named Huda on there. Honestly, if you know her, if you watch the show, you already know what I'm going to get into. Basically, her and this dude, from day one, they've been like hot and heavy. And if you know Love Island, then you know that this show is the kind of show where it's probably not a good idea to be with someone from the beginning because at some point you are going to have your head be turned. Or, you know, as bombshells are coming into the villa, you have to somewhat keep, you know, your options open because you're not married to this person, right? You're just coupled up with them. And unless you guys verbally tell each other, yes, we're closed off, then you will stop pursuing other people, other bombshells as they come in, right? So typically in the Love Island universe, it's kind of frowned upon when couples, and there's always a couple, at least one or two in every season, that like way too soon, they're like obsessed with each other and then you watch it crash and burn. And there are maybe one or two couples in the entire franchise where it's worked out like that. You know what I mean? But even those couples that have worked out, they go through tests and trials and tribulations throughout the season just because they've been together since the beginning, right? Anyway, so this couple, her name is Huda and the guy she's with is Jeremiah. And the interesting thing with her is that she is a mom, right? And she didn't tell him that she's a mom until like, I want to say like 4 or 5 days. Again, that's her prerogative, right? Like that's her choice. Everyone can say, well, I would tell him right away, but you are not her. And it is her child. She gets to do what she wants. To you, that may be manipulative, but at the end of the day, that's her life. She can come off manipulative all she wants. It's still her decision, right? When she wants to share that she has a child, right? She finally tells him, and his reaction isn't the best, to be honest with you, but he's like, we're good for now. You know what I mean? But this is way after they've been like very, very hot and heavy together because in the show, every night it shows every couple's bed because when you're coupled up with someone, you're sleeping with them. So you get to see like the scoop of like the comforter moving under there, people getting intimate, you know what I mean? Or heavy and hot making out. Yes, people have fucked on there before. But them, it just seems like they have insane sexual chemistry. They're like making out hot and heavy. They're like showering together. So again, very, very hot and heavy from the jump on both ends, right? To the point where the first challenge they had where they could kiss other people without their partner knowing, just to test the waters with other people, she didn't get up to go kiss anyone, and neither did he, but someone came to kiss her, but he thought that she had gotten up because they had blindfolds on. But when the challenge ended, he looked at her like, did you get up? Like, it's the first day. And she was like, no, I didn't. Like, I promise I didn't. You know what I mean? And then throughout this first week, there's moments where she gets jealous. A bombshell comes in and she's like acting up, right? And again, I just want to say my hot take will have to do with this particular couple, but then it'll tie into just, you know, dating shows in general, right? So the consensus is a lot of people online are just straight up hating on her and are straight up just being mean to the point of bullying. You know what I mean? Like, again, I have to say, I'm not like her number one fan. I think she does a lot of things that are cringe and she just be doing the most sometimes. You know what I mean? But that's just what it is, right? Like we watch these shows to understand people. There's certain people that we connect with. We see ourselves in them and we just typically enjoy people that reminds us of ourselves, right? But you still need these big characters or sometimes shitty people to make the show interesting, right? The way they are villainizing the hell out of this girl, truly, online is baffling to me. And it's honestly so sad because what pisses me off, you guys, is that once again, they don't have literally a quarter. They don't even have a quarter of the energy they're giving to this girl and why she's, so thirsty for him, for the guy. The guy who's been love bombing her since the beginning too. You know what I mean? And you can say they're both love bombing each other, then talk shit about both of them. Why is it only her that you guys are talking shit about? To the point where you guys, they're trying to find out who her baby daddy is. They're trying to find out how often she has her kid. Oh, she only has him for the weekend. Oh, she only has her kid on the weekdays. Like they're doing the absolute most. Just watch the show. This is what pisses me off about reality television, you guys, is that people can't just enjoy anything. People make it their whole entire life mission. I'm like, if you have this much time and energy to find out this much about people and make this many assumptions about people, you have time for a side hustle. Let me just make your day right now. You could become a millionaire today. Based off how much energy you have, based on how much time you have to look up personal information in regards to the lives of these reality stars, you have plenty of time to go to school, get your MBA. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people, they scare me. They truly scare me because it's insane. And I think people forget that these are actual fucking people. At some point, they're going to get their phones back. At some point, they're going to see what people are saying about them and the assumptions that they're making about them. And I think it's just so fucked up because it happens to women more. And it's crazy because more women watch these shows. So it just goes to show how much misogyny has infiltrated even the minds of a lot of women, right? And it just pisses me off because if you didn't know, Love Island UK was the original Love Island, right? And within, I want to say like maybe it was season 8 or 10, they had to change a lot of the rules and laws and regulations, blah, 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 blah. You guys know how the UK has like the Sun and they have all of these, news outlets that are really toxic, right? Like the Daily Mail. So when Love Island was happening, they would be, talking about these contestant stories or like just saying vile shit about them to the point where a lot of these contestants had mental health problems. So they had to change a lot of the rules in regards to the show of Love Island and all of that in order to protect the mental health of a lot of these contestants. Because there have been times, you guys, where some of the contestants have wanted to off themselves. You know what I mean? And it's so sad. It's really, really so sad. And it just baffles me because, I get it. Not everyone in America knows that. But I still think it's not that hard to have empathy towards people. And I think the same thing that happened in the UK is going to happen to the US because the US Love Island just started taking off after last season, right? It has a bunch of new viewers. I'm talking millions of new viewers because of how much it popped off last season. So that gives a lot of power to the people watching, right? It makes the show even more fun to watch because we can hop online. Don't get me wrong. I love hopping on here. I love hopping on TikTok, giving my takes, but there's a line. There's a line that you shouldn't cross when it comes to your little takes about these people. People are literally writing her story for her. They're saying she's ashamed of her child. Oh, she doesn't want to be a mom. Oh, it makes sense that she got pregnant so young because she seems so easy. I'm like, huh? Like, what is wrong with you guys? Is this how much empathy you guys have for your own friends? Because if that's the case, I feel sorry for your friends. I feel sorry for you. And honestly, it's a reflection of how much love you didn't receive. Truly. Because anyone with empathy would see that this girl is getting love bombed. Again, she's not perfect. There's shit that she does that I side-eye all the time. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that she's getting love bombed. This guy was so hot and heavy into her. And now slowly he's pulling back. And you could tell she has an anxious attachment style because she keeps trying to figure out what's wrong. And he's like, nothing. He looks at her, gives her thumbs up, and she's like, why are you being weird? Completely doing a switch up, right? And if you're a woman, I know every single woman watching knows this or has gone through this. That relationship, or maybe several relationships that you were in where you were love bombed and it was just so hot and heavy at the beginning. You thought you found the love of your life. Like you guys just got on. He was so into you. He was obsessed with you to the point where obviously you attach yourself, right? And then suddenly he starts pulling away. But because you were love bombed, because it was so hot and heavy, now you're almost chasing him. Now you're trying to get it back. What you had at the beginning, you're trying to get it back. But what you had at the beginning wasn't real. It was infatuation. It was lust, right? Especially to the man. Whereas to the girl, emotions are involved. And if you guys didn't know, it's actually been proven when a man and a woman have sex, the woman gets emotionally attached a lot faster. We just get attached to people that we have sex with. We connect with them on a different level as women when we have sex with them in a way that men typically do not as fast as we do, right? So when I'm looking at this show and I'm seeing how much he's into her and he's asking her if she kissed any other guys from the beginning, day one, and then they're making out, it's getting really intense every night in their bed. She is literally catching feelings. You know what I mean? It's getting hot and heavy for her. Of course, she's becoming obsessed with him too because he's showing her that he's obsessed with her. And now he's slowly pulling back. And instead of keeping it real with her and saying, hey, maybe I'm not interested anymore because you're a mom, he's not saying that, you know? You could just tell that this relationship is going to be doomed. But it just makes me sad because looking at the reaction from the public, a lot of people agree with me, but a lot of people are also on the other side where they're just being so mean towards her, ruthless towards her. And it just breaks my heart because I just wish we gave women as much grace as we give men. It's almost like a lot of women are just waiting for a woman to mess up on television or in real life just so they can go in on her, just so they can take out all of their rage onto her. And it's like, where's the same energy for the man? It doesn't exist. It really does not exist. And it's just insane to me because we see it happen time and time again where people talk about anti-bullying and you know what I mean? Be careful what you say because you never know who's going to see it. And these people, you know, they're going to be able to see every comment and it's like no one cares. They're still being horrible online. Once again, there is a balance between you giggling, talking a little bit of shit, giving your little hot takes, but then you going online being like, I hate her. She's so gross. She doesn't want to be a mom. She's ashamed of being a mom. She probably doesn't even have her kid half the time. You guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely insane. You need therapy. Go heal right now. You need therapy. And like I said, you have so much energy and time. Find that side hustle, baby. It will do you good. You need to expel some energy because you have way too much energy for random people that you do not know. And you're spewing so much hate towards people that you do not know. And it's very obvious how much you hate yourself. People that are that hateful towards other people, to me as a Scorpio, it shows me easily how much you hate yourself. Easily. Because once again, how much compassion you have towards other people is how much compassion you have towards yourself. So really, I feel sorry for y'all. Really. And just to end it, I want everyone to understand two things can be true at once. Someone's behavior can annoy you. You know what I mean? You could side eye someone and still be respectful in the way that you criticize them. You know what I mean? Like someone can be not your type of person, but you don't have to be mean and bully them because they're not your type of person. You could still have these takes. You could still have criticism towards them, but not in a way that becomes bullying. You know what I mean? Straight up bullying. Just because you dislike someone doesn't mean that you get to just spew out hate towards them constantly. It makes you a gross person, truly. To me, that means you're fucking gross. Whew, that felt good. I just had to say it because listen, I see it in every show. I do also want to talk about what's happening in our country and all of the ICE raids. I just have to touch on it because, you know, I'm an immigrant. My family immigrated here. If you're a new subscriber, I immigrated here from Iran with my family when I was young. So I will always have the utmost respect and love for immigrants. And if you are so lucky enough to have never been in a situation where you had to immigrate, go to a whole new country, learn a whole new language, be around people that speak a completely different language as you, and you're still trying to make it, if you've never experienced that, please don't have any stupid takes when it comes to immigrants and the hardships that they go through. And I just think it's absolutely disgusting what's happening in our country and the fact that kids and families are just getting separated. Again, where's the empathy? This is a special type of evil, truly, to be so comfortable really pulling people away from their families, people that come here and work their asses off to have a better life for themselves and their family. It's disgusting, you guys. It's so freaking gross. It's so freaking gross. And again, it shows you how fucked so many people in our country are. The fact that they don't see that. The fact that they don't understand that. How heartless it is. And I saw this post. I'm going to post it here. It's by Carolyn Kwan, and it hit home for me. And it said, we fight for the rights of immigrants, not because they are hardworking, which places their value in the labor they provide, but because they are human beings who deserve to be treated with dignity. All right? Listen the fuck up. I'm sure no one that needs to hear this is actually watching. I'm sure all of you guys that are listening, probably, hopefully, if you're here, are on the right side of history and you agree with me. It baffles me that we even have to talk about, well, they work hard. They're here to work hard. Even if they weren't working hard, they're humans. You can't just take people and pull them away from their families. It's disgusting. What does that do for you? Truly, these people pay taxes, probably more taxes than these fucking billionaires that are getting these tax cuts. It's so damn gross. I just want the people that agree with this, what's happening with the ICE raids, to really, really think about what it would feel like to be with your parents, to be with your family, and for one of you to get separated from the other. You know what I mean? For your dad to be taken away, for your mom to be taken away. It's so heartbreaking. It's so scary. It's going to traumatize you for the rest of your life. It's just not how you treat people. It's really, really not. And to think that this is some people's jobs. I'm sorry. If your dad, if your mom, if your brother, sister, cousin works for ICE, I feel bad for you because that's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. In this country, it's so embarrassing. The things they're so comfortable doing, I'm like, good luck. I don't know what kind of universe you believe in outside of this world. I don't know what kind of God you believe in, if you believe in heaven or hell or whatever. Just know that you're going to a place worse than hell. You are. You're going to a place way worse than hell because you're a disgusting individual. You have no heart. You have no heart. And that is the problem with this country. It hides. These toxic people hide behind their religion and why God wants this and God wants that. Shut the fuck up. You guys are so dumb. Truly. So dumb. And this isn't me just talking shit. Literally go look at the numbers. Go look at the states that have the worst education. You know what I mean? The lowest testing scores. Go look at those states and see where they fall. You know what I mean? See where they fall when it comes to their belief systems, because it'll show you a lot. It'll make a lot of fucking sense. It's also just insane because just from my perspective, obviously my family came here for a better life, right? My mom and dad wanted a better life for us, and we're so grateful, my siblings obviously, to have this life, right? To have all these experiences and to have all these opportunities, especially as a Middle Eastern woman. I'm grateful every day. Truly. I look around living in the city and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for all these experiences. I wouldn't have met literally the love of my life and my best friends if I didn't come to America, if I didn't come to the other side of the world. I wouldn't be watching Love Island. I wouldn't be talking on this podcast with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so proud of being an immigrant. And I just think it's insane because this country is slowly becoming the country that a lot of people, a lot of us fled from, right? It's becoming that kind of country where people are scared to speak up. Our freedom of speech right now is in danger. It literally is. People are getting arrested left and right for speaking their mind. And if you don't agree with the leaders of this country right now, yeah, they can literally imprison you. That is literally what is happening. That's not a democracy. I'll let you think for yourself what that is. And just to end it on this note, I think it's hilarious. It's hilarious to call people aliens, right, on land that was stolen in the first place. Really, y'all are the aliens. Truly. These white people that have came with Christopher Columbus, y'all are the aliens. You're the ones that came here and took land that was not yours to begin with. You know what I mean? And you have the audacity to tell other people that they're aliens. It truly baffles me. The ignorance. They must just have the best time because they're so stupid. Being self-aware is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Not really, but you know what I mean. Yet these people that are so ignorant, they're so loud and they're so proud, you know? And if only other people that were more self-aware were as loud and proud as some of these dumbasses, this world would be a better place. But because a lot of us were self-aware and we want to make sure that we're saying the right things that we're saying are fact checked, right? We take our time trying to understand things. Meanwhile, these dumbasses, they have zero education. They don't know any facts, but they're just spewing shit out of their mouth so proudly. Literally things that are completely wrong, but they're saying it so loudly and so proudly. So yeah, I encourage you, if you yourself are not an immigrant, or you don't know anyone that's an immigrant, and you don't know what it's like to be an immigrant, I'm here to tell you that it's something that a lot of people were forced to do. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you think my family would have wanted to leave our country if it wasn't taken over by a theocracy, if these religious leaders weren't making it an unsafe place for us to live, if religious persecution wasn't a thing? You think my family would have wanted to leave if there were opportunities still there available for us in Iran? No. Who would want to leave their home country, the place where their culture is cultivated? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I've visited Iran once since we moved here, and every time I think about it, I get giddy because it was such a fun experience, because I was so young when we lived there. So when I got to go back as a teenager and just seeing, our alphabet everywhere and everyone speaking my language, you know what I mean? And the food was so good. It felt surreal. Even when I think about it now, it felt so surreal. And I think it's so cool living in California, especially because, we're just around so many different cultures and it's so diverse. The best part of California is its diversity and also the ocean and the weather, right? And when I think about it, I'm like, it's so cool that I get to live in this state because my mind has been open to so many different cultures and languages and people, right? But then I think about countries where people still feel safe to live there, right? Like, let's say a couple of countries in Europe or whatever, right? Where they don't have to leave their home country. I think about that and I'm like, what does that feel like to be in your home country and feel safe? I don't know what that feels like, but it must feel really good because you have this deep sense of community with everyone in your country, damn near, right? Because you guys are from there. And I think that's so cool, but I'll never get to experience that, and it's sad. And I'm sure a lot of other immigrants feel the same way. You know what I mean? Like, we're almost in this in-between of like wanting to be home, but then being so grateful for being here, right? And I'm someone who, obviously I was younger when I came here, so it was easy for me to learn the language and really, be part of the culture. But a lot of these families, let's say the moms and the dads and the grandmas and the grandparents, right? It's harder for them to learn the language, but they're still here. They're still here making it work for the younger generation. You know what I mean? You know what kind of sacrifices they had to make in order to come here for their family, so their family has opportunity here? And you want to take that away from them, even though it was a hard decision to begin with, even though they're working their ass off to make it here? That's crazy to me. You are so heartless. This government is disgusting. I saw the funniest astrology meme. Oh God, it was so good, you guys. I'm gonna post it here. One of my favorite pages on Instagram. It's called bitch.rising. Oh, if you don't follow it already, what are you doing? I'm gonna post it here. It says, Libra, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Aquarius, I'm a fighter. Gemini, I will be playing the role of both. The way this had me so dead, truly. Like, I laughed out loud when I read this because it is literally so true. We already know why Libra is a lover. Like, Libra in general, obviously being Venus ruled, wants everyone to get along. They're the peacekeeper. They're just so lovey-dovey. They're so gentle. They want everything to be beautiful and lovely and balanced, right? And then here we have Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, They are here to fight. They do love to debate and argue. It makes them horny. It makes them hot. It makes them feel good when they're arguing with you, because that is just who they are. They love being the devil's advocate. They love it. They love it. They are in cahoots with the devil all the time. You know what I mean? Find me an Aquarius that agrees with you all the time, and I'll let you know that they're unwell. They're not okay. They're not themselves. Aquarius lives to disagree with you just so they can bait you into a conversation/argument that is filled with passion. You know what I mean? Like, even though Aquarius is aloof, they get so happy when they're involved in some sort of argument. That's when their true passionate side comes out, is when they're debating someone. And it's just so funny that Gemini is like, I will be playing the role of both, because of course Gemini is playing the role of both. Gemini is the twins, right? That is the symbol of Gemini, and their duality allows them to do both. And that's why people get confused with Gemini energy, because Gemini energy 1 second will be happy-go-lucky, and the next second the other twin is out and it wants to fight you. You know what I mean? Or 1 second it agrees with you, and then their other twin comes out and they're like, actually, I don't agree with you. I just learned some new information in the past 2 seconds that allowed me to process what you said, and now I completely disagree with you and I see the other side. You know what I mean? That's how they do it. And then all of a sudden they might flip again and they might agree with you because they took in new information. That is just the beauty of Gemini, right? You have these two, multiple, you know what I mean? Who's to say it's only 2 personalities? You have these 2 personalities, these 2 twins that could not be any more different. But that is where my love for Gemini energy comes from in the first place. And you just never really know what kind of conversation you're going to have with Gemini. You really, really don't. And if you think you've got them figured out, you're wrong. You're dead wrong. Gemini changes, sheds their skin to become something new every 5 seconds. Truly, Mercury, the fast-paced version of Mercury is Gemini, right? Always taking in new information and always shedding their old skin, kind of like Scorpio, to become someone new, because of the new information that they learned and because they're so open-minded with it, right? They see every aspect of every situation, and because they're a mutable sign, they don't get attached, right, to anything. They don't get attached to anything, so they're really able to go from one place to the other, from one personality trait to the other, because to them, it's no big deal. They're free, they're flowing, they're mutable air. Okay, I need to vent. So y'all know I love reading. And while I love my Kindle, I always have a audiobook on rotation, because you just never know when you need to go on a little hot girl walk, right? Like washing dishes. I just love having a good podcast or audiobook to listen to. So I finished my last audiobook and I was trying to find a new one. And personally for me, I love dual narrated audiobooks, which means, and if you guys didn't know, romanticy, that's my jam. All right. I have zero shame in what kind of books I prefer to read. And yeah, some of them get steamy and I fucking love it. But anyway, so I found this new romanticy I was reading and it said dual narration. Basically, that means that, there's going to be a guy POV and a girl POV, it goes back and forth. And when there's dual narration in an audiobook, there's going to be the female's voice and the male's voice, right? And it's no hot take, but people's voices, it needs to match. Or I need to somewhat find your voice enjoyable. Otherwise, it's a no for me because I'm listening to you. So if your voice annoys me, for the girl or the guy, it's a no, right? Anyway, I'm reading the book, and this book just so happens to be a book where the first 12 or so chapters are in the girl's POV, right? So I'm invested, right? I'm invested because I listened to the first 12 chapters and it was so good. I'm loving the girl's voice. When the guy comes in, she's doing his voice because that's how it goes, right? It can be her chapter, she's narrating it, but when the guy comes in her POV, the girl does a guy's voice, right? Where if it's the guy's chapter and the girl's talking, he'll do a girly voice, right? And basically the first 12 chapters are amazing. The book has me hooked. I'm loving the storyline. I'm waiting all giggly. I'm where is the guy's chapter? Oh, it's coming up. I can't wait for his POV. You guys, his POV started and my heart stopped. Truly, I was shaken to my core. I was shook. I was like, oh my God. Somehow the author found the voice of a man that is the least attractive voice I've ever heard in my life. And I'm sorry. I know that's oh my God, so fucked up. I'm not going to name the book. You know what I mean? I'm not going to name the author. I'm not going to obviously name the dudes, whose voice it is. I'm not heartless. I would never do that. I would never, ever do that. That's someone's life work, right? That's someone's passion and that's someone's voice. So I'm not here to do that. But it's still my experience and I get to share my experience with you guys. I was dried up so quickly. You know what I mean? I was there is no way you expect me to listen to this book if this is his voice for the rest of the book. You want me to find this attractive? Damn it. I was pissed. I was you got me hooked onto this book only for, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm not being dramatic. His voice, it made me feel icky. Like it gave like creeper vibes. Truly, like creeper vibes. Like the voice that should be for a villain, actually. And like a slimy villain, right? Like a slimy villain that like does bad things to women. Like that's what his voice sounded like. And you want me to find his voice attractive enough to listen to the rest of this book? You want me to think he's a lover boy? God, you guys, it's just insane. What's even more insane to me, that this author, obviously she interviewed different people. She heard different voices and she picked him. She was like, yep, that's the one. Huh? Are you okay? Are you okay? Again, I'm sorry if this is coming off mean, but I'm not naming names and I'm not naming the book, right? So I just get to share my experience with you guys. It was insane. Yeah, I stopped listening. I'm not finishing that book. I'm also not finishing. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, I'm not finishing that book. It pissed me off. It pissed me off so much, so much. And I actually, you guys want to hear something really funny? I went on a tangent on TikTok about this. Again, didn't name the book, didn't name anything. People were like validating me, like, oh, I've experienced that. Oh my God, that's so annoying. I hate when that happens. And then I got a couple of people that are like, oh my God, like now I'm interested, like what the book is. And I'm like, yeah, I DM'd a couple of people the name of the book. Cause again, I'm not going to put it publicly somewhere because that's heartless to me, right? Like that's someone's voice and that's someone's book. But it was just so funny because this girl was like, I think I know what book it is. And I'm like, that is so funny if it is the same book. That is just so, so funny. And yeah, it just felt good to be validated. And it is what it is, because who the hell knows? Maybe someone else will listen to that book, will reach to his chapter, his voice will start speaking to them, and they're going to get wet. And they're going to be like, wow, like, who is this man? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't think we'd be friends, truly, because are you hearing the same thing I am? But also, that is the beauty of this life. There are different strokes for different folks. You could be the sweetest peach in the world, and there's going to be someone that doesn't like peaches. That is just a fact, right? So I don't really feel that bad about having this take because, who am I? I'm just one person. I mean, I know the other girl felt the same way, but truly, other people can love it, and that's great. That's great for them. I think I just felt annoyed because my time was wasted, and also my heart was invested. I really did enjoy the storyline. People were saying, maybe you should just read it. And I'm like, I kind of just feel annoyed now. I don't know if I want to buy the book, you know, because you really played me. You played me. I felt like I got catfished. I'm sorry if that's dramatic. I got catfished via my audiobook. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? This is a real thing I went through. Does anybody care? Anyway, I found a new book. The man's voice is fine. The girl's voice is amazing too. So we on to bigger and better things. But I just had to vent real quick because maybe it's also my Libra Mercury now that I think about it. Because as we know, Venusian Mercury's like the way we speak, the way we hear, it's a different type of flow. Okay. It's a different type of flow. So my Libra Mercury is very sensitive to the way that people communicate, to the sound of their voice. I'm very hyper aware of that, right? Of people's voices. And I find certain voices to be attractive and certain ones not so much, you know? And I think it's because of my Venusian ruled Mercury sign that I'm hyper aware of that and I can't let it go. Maybe to most people, they would be able to let it go. For me and my imagination, which is why you read, right? You're building this storyline in your head and you're imagining it and you're imagining what they look like. And then you hear a voice that's like, brother, I don't like him. I'm not going to want to fucking continue this book. I don't care if he's with her. I want her to actually run away from him because he sounds gross. You see, this is just another Scorpio moment where I get hyper fixated and passionate about something. Like I'm very passionate about this experience that I had because it really threw me off. It literally threw me off. I had to stop on my tracks and be like, huh? And I will say, I tried for like 2 minutes. He kept talking and I was like, maybe I can. And I'm like, you have one life. I could die tomorrow. Would I want my last audiobook to be one that I push through? No. I want to love everything that I'm doing. Truly. Let's get a little deep with it. Let's get a little philosophical with it. If you are going to die tomorrow, wouldn't you want to live your best life today? Truly. And it's so hard to put yourself in that position and think like that. But if you do, you'll live a better day every day that you do that. Even when it comes to clothes, right? Like it's like a known thing where a lot of us will buy clothes and we're like saving it for a special occasion, right? Saving it for in case I need it for this kind of event or that kind of event. Or maybe it's too much for this, so I'll save it for a better event. Who's to say you're going to even be here? Me to me. Who's to say you're going to be here to go to another event just because you're saving it for that? Wear your best clothes. Eat your best food. Listen to shit that you want to listen to. If a book is good, but then it's not, and you don't want to finish it, don't finish it. Do things that you're excited about, right? And it's hard for me, especially because I have ADHD and OCD diagnosed. And it was always a thing for me where I felt like I had to finish everything. Like when it came to books, even if I didn't like it, I felt like I had to finish it. And slowly I've learned to just be like, you know what? If I don't like it, I don't like it. Why should I push myself to do something that I don't like just because I want to have this mental checklist where I'm like, done, did it. It's like you want to be so proud of yourself for finishing these things, but in the middle of it, you were miserable. It can literally come back to even your career. You know what I mean? Your relationships, your friendships. You tell yourself, well, I've just spent so much time with them, or we've known each other since we were kids. Who gives a fuck? Are you happy? Are you happy in this friendship? Are you happy in this relationship or career where people thought they knew what they wanted to do for the rest of their life and then they turn 33 and they're miserable? They're like, well, I just spent the last 8-10 years being in this field. You know what I mean? I am so good at my job, but I'm miserable. All right, time to change it. You're not dead yet. You still have time to pivot and change your life and make it what you want it to be. Prioritize joy over everything. And I know it's so hard in this society, in this capitalistic society that tells us we need to do this and do that and get a side hustle and don't forget to invest. It's too much. It's too much. I'm here for people making money and having multiple streams of money, but ultimately it should come back to joy. Are you happy with your life? Are you happy to wake up? Are you happy to be with your partner? Are you happy with your friendship circle? Are you happy with your job? On Sundays, are you miserable thinking about waking up? You know what I mean? That is a main indicator of how much you hate your job, and you should probably look for a new one. Take a freaking chance. You know what I mean? No one's going to save you but you. If every Sunday, your Sunday scaries are so bad that you have anxiety, time to look for a new job. Do it. Do it. The universe has your back, you guys. Don't limit yourself to what you think you deserve. You deserve so much more than what you think. Even if you think you deserve a certain amount and you're like, yeah, I deserve that. Add some tax to it. Raise it up. Raise up your standards. You deserve everything and more. I'm telling you that right now. I have something funny to share. It's funny and serious wrapped into one, which is really my personality. Funny, serious, wrapped into one. So you know how Donald Trump is like pardoning all these people, and he's pardoning literally the worst people. But what's to be expected? Of course he's pardoning the worst people. The worst people. And word on the street is that he's thinking about pardoning Diddy. Which I can't even. It's so gross and disgusting. Imagine he actually gets pardoned. I can't. Someone needs to do something about that. Luigi, you got a cousin? And it's just horrific. It's terrifying because he's putting all these terrible people back on the streets. But as we know, and I've talked about it on this podcast, Diddy's number one hater is 50 Cent. Truly. If Diddy has 0 haters, 50 Cent is dead. You know what I mean? And apparently what happened is 50 Cent, being the number one Diddy hater, is thinking about actually having a conversation with Trump about not pardoning Diddy. And I know you thought to yourself, wow, 50 Cent is going to sit there and tell Donald Trump how bad Diddy is and how he's done all these things. No, that's not how it's going down. Apparently, 50 Cent is actually going to speak to Donald Trump about not pardoning Diddy by exposing Diddy and how much he talks shit about Donald Trump. Do you hear what I'm saying? He's not going to have a conversation with Trump about Diddy being this horrible person that is doing all these horrible things, he's going to tell Trump, hey, I have proof of all the times he talks shit about you. Really, really think about that. Think about what that says about Trump. The fact that 50 Cent knows he's going to get through to him by telling him, hey, he was talking shit about you. It just goes to show how much of a girl our president is. Our president is literally a teenage girl. Like, oh, he was talking shit about me? Oh, hell no. Yeah, we're not cool. We're not cool. Tell me that's not what teenage girls do. And it's just so funny, especially because if you didn't know, 50 Cent is a Cancer Sun, Gemini Moon. Already, it makes so much sense that he's a Gemini Moon. I've said this before. Gemini Moons, we're menaces. It's true. We are menaces. We can't help ourselves. We're naturally funny. We get ourselves into some shit, but we have a good way of getting ourselves out of some shit. You know what I mean? And we say things that everyone else is thinking, right? Hence why 50 Cent is always so vocal on social media. But it's especially funny because Trump is a Gemini, right? I believe he has a Gemini stellium. So it's just so funny that he's going to have this dynamic of this sun and moon conjunction in Gemini where he's going to get through to him. Truly, he needs to know, I don't care what the method is. I don't care what you need to tell him. As long as he doesn't pardon Diddy, I'm good. Show him all the texts. You know what I mean? Show him all the proof of all the time he was talking shit about Trump, because you know Trump's ego is so fragile and he is going to take that to heart and he's never going to let Diddy out. So prayers up. We hope this works. It's also just so funny because, of course, this news comes out during Gemini season. Gemini season is just so chaotic and funny and messy. Truly messy. Truly, truly so messy. And you don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, that's the state of our country right now, or it's been that way since January. So these are dark times we live in, but it's important to find things to make you laugh, right? Because ultimately, what's the point of living if we're drowning in the sorrows of our reality and our country? Like I said before, it's the fine balance of being self-aware and of being aware of the pain that your community is going through and being available to your community as much as you can, but then also having ways to make yourself feel joy and to protect your peace as much as you can, because you can't be a tool for your community if you are not well yourself, right? So you have to find ways to still smile, laugh, do the things that make you happy so you can have energy to become the tool that your community needs you to be, your country needs you to be, to make the place better for everybody. You know what I mean? All right, you guys, that is the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a bunch of chaos and a lot of different topics, but let me know how you felt about it. Let me know about any of the topics I touched on, please. I love hearing what you guys have to say. I say this every time. Comment. I need to hear what you guys are thinking, right? Like, this needs to be a two-way conversation a little bit, right? Otherwise it's unfair. Okay. Don't leave this Gemini moon hanging. Okay. I need to hear it. I need to see it. I need to hear it. I need to be there. Anyway, I love you guys. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, don't forget to leave me a review. Come to the YouTube and comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Have a beautiful weekend and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.